Hello, cruise friends. Welcome to my live. If you are watching this later, since I am going to actually record this one and put it out in places like my YouTube channel, you may hear me reference certain keywords. Obviously, these are only active during a live. So if you watch this later on YouTube recorded, I'll drop my links down below in the comments. So anything I talk about, you can find there. But if you're tuning in live, and I already have some folks on, that's great. Hello, Anna and Michael. And I mentioned a keyword. If you comment the keyword in real time, I will respond to it. Certain keywords, I'll tell you what they are, and send you information about different things that I like to talk about that people ask me about a lot. So I get a lot of FAQs. So I try to put together kind of some standard automations. So if people have questions about becoming a travel agent, I say comment word mystery. And if you put the word mystery in the comments, I will send you information and we'll DM that to you. Hi, Mick. Hello, how are you? And Breezy is one that I use for information on breezes in Nassau. Sneezy. So if you want information on travel insurance, comment Sneezy. I'll send that to you. And Jackpot. So if you have questions about casino cruising, comment Jackpot. I'll send you that information. So these are the recurring themes that people always ask me about. And so I used to try to respond to everyone and that got really difficult. I do have my booking partner, Kelly. She's going to hop on here and chat with me as well and help me answer questions in the comments. Hi, Cheryl. But if you're just tuning in, I am trying to do a better job of scheduling lives. I've been really bad about it. And I'm not going to lie. I did schedule this one for 5, but I just woke up from like the fattest, juiciest nap. You guys, I've been going hard. I just moved my daughter into her first home and I didn't realize that she's terrible at packing. And so I ended up doing almost all of it. Hi, Melissa. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm physically tired. I physically moved and she's accumulated a lot of stuff in her time, in her childhood. So it's been a lot, but I just took a big fat juicy nap. So I was like 3 minutes late, but I'm here close to 5. And I'm going to be doing a drawing for my favorite beach bag. This thing is amazing. And if you missed the entry, no worries. I'm going to do these every single Friday. And I already queued up for next Friday what the next one's going to be. And some of you you're very smart. You guessed it. But I see my booking partner, Kelly, is on here. She's Kel Travel Times Prof Melissa, and she wants to know, I have a casino question. Are we going to go broke in the next couple of days? So if you don't know, Kelly and I are getting ready to go to Alaska. So we're going to be boarding Carnival Spirit on Tuesday, and I feel woefully unprepared. I have not even started packing. I'm a day before packer. I'm like a night before packer. And we're flying out of Seattle and we're doing what I always say don't do. We're flying in the same day. But we have a 3-hour time difference between the Midwest and Seattle. And we have an early flight. So we leave at like 8 a.m. So we basically land like at 8 a.m. with the time difference and the flight being 3 hours and the time difference being 3 hours. And yes, we are going to go broke, and I'm already broke because I just bought a house. So I have very little money right now. It drained me. So Kelly, you got to help me stay disciplined in the casino. I have not been doing that lately. And by the way, if you want to be a degenerate like me and gamble in the casino and get free cruises, comment Jackpot and I will send you the information. Hi, Sherry. Thank you. I'm glad that you find my content valuable. Ryan, I have not booked Margaritaville yet because you know what? I actually sent my friends, the Kellys, both my booking partners, information because I had a free casino offer and it was August 8th. And I'm like, should we do Margaritaville? The people say we should do Margaritaville. They were both in, and you know what I did? I hope he's not on here yet. I realized that is the day after mine and Bati's 2-year anniversary. So I'm going to do Margaritaville, but I'm not going to do August 8th because obviously I want to celebrate my anniversary with my man. And by the way, if you don't follow him, it's Bati on a boat. And so, Bati, I'm sorry, but I didn't book it. We're going to do something fun together, just so you know. But hopefully my girls and I are going to do Margaritaville another day. And I actually have decided I want this to be a girls trip. Oh, and by the way, my hairdresser, I got her into cruising and she's my friend from like high school. She wants to come too. So we've decided it's going to be a girls trip, Margaritaville of the Seas. We know it's going to be bad in a lot of ways, but we've committed to just laughing it off and having a good time and doing it for the LOLs. So stay tuned. Unfortunately, my fall is pretty jam-packed because between my anniversary, which we got to plan something, we haven't done anything yet to plan ahead for that. I have a whole cruise booked for every single month already for the rest of 2025. And my daughter's school starts, my youngest, and it's hard for me to travel when she's in school. And then my school starts, and I do teach 2 in-person classes this fall. So Margaritaville might be in Q1 of 2026. I only have 1 thing booked in 2026, but I got to start filling that out. So anyway, that was my very long answer, Ryan. So Margaritaville, yes, but not when we thought it was going to be. Maybe I can kind of squeeze in like a 4-day weekend, but I don't know. I don't want to get fired from my teaching job because I like it. And I already am jam-packed with cruises. So and yes, I am wearing shorts. It looks like I'm sitting here bare ass in the seat. These are like I told you, I just took a nap. These are like my sleep shorts. I didn't realize you could see them. I'm going to adjust this up. So you don't know I just took a big fat nap. Although I told you I took a big fat nap. It was delicious. Hey, Marty. Hello from Cincinnati. By the way, speaking of Cincinnati, you guys, I got recognized on my home turf for the first time today. It happened once before at the Apple store, but the person didn't say hello at the time. They messaged me later. They're like, oh, I wasn't nervous or I didn't want to bother you with your daughter. So that was really cool. So yeah, if you see me out in the wild at home or on a cruise, definitely say hello. Richard, the mold issue. I have heard that it's fixed. So I made a video, if you missed it, on Carnival Horizon. I was doing the ABC Islands in March with Bati and my best friend from like 2nd grade. And she noticed some mold on the ceiling, or black spots all over. And I'd noticed the MDR reeked. It smelled like dirty, funky, like gym socks that had gotten wet and then were musty. And it was really grossing me out. And it was like our 2nd or 3rd day. And she's like, I wonder if that's why it stinks. And I looked up and oh my God, there's black all over the ceiling. So it went viral on every platform. Obviously it got in front of Carnival. Then I started getting special attention from Carnival. And it was very awkward actually. And as soon as we got off, I had a couple of followers that were getting on, and they said that the minute my group got off and disembarked, that they were ripping the tiles down and replacing them. So that's good, but if you know anything about mold, and I'm not a mold expert by any means, but I did start researching it because at first I was I didn't know anything about it. I started looking into it. If there's mold, it's obviously growing in the ceiling, so it's cosmetic. So I hope they've done some remediation. I don't know. That's a question for Carnival. Hello, Tanya from Michigan. My brother-in-law is from Michigan. He's from Grand Rapids. Carol, taking a nap, but you're going to go to bed early. Girl, that is the challenge. That's a struggle I have every day. I always get tired, between 4 and 7. And I'm like, oh man, if I take a nap, it's so late in the day, but you know what? I can nap and then still get up and then go to bed. I love my sleep. So, Mary loves John. It's Sneezy. So if you want information on travel insurance, you got to comment Sneezy, S-N-E-E-Z, oh, I'm feeling sneezy. And then it's jackpot singular, not plural. So the keywords are a little tricky. You got to spell them out just right. And they're weird keywords. If you're why is it a weird keyword? Because I don't want it to fire off with common words. So coming up with keywords sometimes is a little harder than it looks. Hi, Patrice and Rhonda and CW. Melissa Jacquard, you got it. Mystery and Sneezy, you got it. Marty, I have sailed Carnival Vista. I sailed it 2 summers ago with my youngest daughter. I really like it. I like Vista class a lot. So Horizon is a sister ship. The only thing I don't like, the layout's kind of funky. So it's got that weird cutoff with the MDR. I hate it when they used to design the ships with the MDR in the middle and you can't go through it. So if you end up on that deck, you have to go either up or down, over, and then around. It's just bad design. Thankfully, the newer ships mostly do not have that design flaw. But other than that, I like Vista a lot because they have ropes courses and I like that they're free. Because on the Excels, I like the Bolt roller coaster. I actually think it's pretty fun, but it's really expensive and I don't think it's worth doing more than once. I let my kid do it, but I did it once. I'm for what it cost, I'm a one and doneer. But the ropes course is free. It's really, really cool. The little Skyrider thing is free. It's this little track and you paddle, over the ocean. That's really cool. And they do have, IMAX. That's not free, but we saw Super Mario Brothers in the IMAX. And it was really cool to see a movie at sea. And I know obviously they do the movies on the Lido deck, but I never do that because it's either during the day when it's really hot and sunny and hard to see, or at night when I'm usually wanting to do other things. And it's kind of chilly out there. Although always get your fuzzy blue blanket. Pro tip. If you take a cruise on Carnival, always, always, always ask your steward for the famous fuzzy blue blanket. They don't give it to you, but if you ask for it, they'll let you have one for use during the cruise, right? You have to like leave it behind unless you go buy one. They do sell them. So maybe one day I'll get a fuzzy blue blanket and go on the Lido deck and watch a movie, but we did IMAX and it was a really fun core memory. So to see an IMAX movie at sea. So I like the Vista class ships a lot. And they're also not like overwhelmingly big, because I know some people don't like the mega ships because there are a lot of people. I personally love the big ships. The lines can get a little annoying sometimes in the crowdedness, but it also has the bells and whistles that like the older, smaller ships don't. So I think they're really good. John, if you're only down 2,000 for 3 cruises, my friend, you're a much better gambler than I, because I gotta say my stats are not that good. Hi, Lori from Texas. Missed. Yeah, I've heard Margaritaville Islander. So it's funny, in my Margaritaville post, a lot of Margaritaville haters, but there are some enthusiasts and some fans that said it's a good time. So I think it's just kind of like the mentality, right? Like, you know, I guess it's like shopping at Walmart, which I shop at Walmart. I don't care. And expecting like Nordstrom level experience. It's just apples and oranges. So, yeah, I think I want to do Margaritaville, just not until spring, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, so Tanya, I will be sharing all my info on the Alaska cruise. I've cruised Alaska before, but it was before I made content. Believe it or not, I've only actually been doing this for like a year and a half. It's funny when people are like, oh, I've been following you for years. I'm like, well, I've only been doing this for like 18 months, but thank you. Maybe it feels like an eternity. But it was before I made content. So I do have port guides about all the Alaskan ports, except for Skagway. I didn't do that one on my first one, but we are doing it on this one. So I do have to write a port guide for Skagway, but I only write port guides for places I've been. I think it's weird when like travel bloggers write guides for places they've never visited. So I don't do that. So if you ever want my free port guides, go to profmelissa.com. If you don't see a port guide, it means I haven't been there yet, because I have port guides for every destination. Still working on Europe. That was like 7 new ones. So it takes a long time. I put my heart and soul into these port guides. So those are coming soon. I'm almost finished with those, and I'll do Skagway. So if you are cruising to Alaska, check out my port guides, and I'll be making video content too this time. And I'll do a YouTube full-length video about an Alaskan itinerary too. But yeah, and every time I go to a place that I've been to before, I always go in and update my port guides and make sure everything's still accurate and up to date. And then if I do something different, which I try to do something different every time, then I try to add information about that experience there and whether or not I like it. So yeah. Hey, Cindy Teasley, I'm glad you love my videos. And by the way, I'm going to yap for a minute, and then I am going to do the drawing. And let me tell you why I love this thing. And it is for sale. It's actually been on sale. So I have links here. So my Amazon link is here. And I was heartbroken. I had this bag forever, and I wore the crap out of it. And eventually the lock broke, and it was like the thing with the little ugly logo here was like peeling off, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then they brought it back. I'm so excited. So it has like a lock, and this is obviously not like Fort Knox here, you guys. It's a deterrent, right? But I figure if I'm at the beach and I got my phone and valuables in here and I have this kind of locked up, and a thief is coming to just grab something discreetly, they're going to go for lower hanging fruit than this. And I've tried like the lockable cases, but they're kind of like bulky. And this is your beach bag, and you just lock it. It's such a brilliant design. And then, Batsy always carries this. I don't carry it, but he says it's very comfortable. Sometimes I cruise without him. I've carried it too. But it's also waterproof. So we've taken this to like Bonaire, and it folds down so we keep the water out. And then it has this nice tight Velcro, and it's adjustable. It's ugly. This logo's fugly. I mean, it's not cute. Oh, and also, but it's functional. And then when you travel, so sometimes I've actually taken a trip and not had a personal item, and I've packed this in my carry-on because I'm cheap and I don't like to pay for luggage. And then I've ended up accumulating stuff like souvenirs, and then I've just simply used this as my personal item in times when I haven't had my famous fugly backpack on shorter cruises. So yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, Shelly, this is important. I didn't mention this before because I already cruise free. So my Margaritaville offer is free. And if you want free casino offer information, comment jackpot and I'll send that to you. And free is a very loose term. So comment jackpot, I'll send you all the information. Long story. But yeah, they have this great heroes program. So teachers, nurses, fire, EMT, police, I think. So Bati and I actually would probably both qualify for a freebie, but I have a free casino offer, so I just book it that way. But yeah, that's a pretty nice program that they have. Sue, I have not cruised Princess yet. I actually have Princess booked for last November, and I had the cruise booked, paid for. I even upgraded and paid to get a balcony room. And then sometimes I'm bad about not booking my flight right away. And I was about a month out. And I'm like, oh, I better book my flight to Princess because it was out of West Coast. So I was really excited to fly out of our cruise out of Long Beach for the first time because people ask me all the time, have you cruised out of California? I have not yet. Because I'll be honest, that itinerary, the Ensenada Cabo, doesn't really excite me too much. But I do want to do it one day. But I went to book my flight from the Midwest out to LAX, and that bad boy was like $1,100. And I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna pay that for a flight in my own country. Like, I'll take an international flight before I'll do that. So Princess was not forgiving. It was a casino offer, but still I paid port fees, taxes, and then that upgrade fee. And they did not refund me any of it. But it was okay because I had an offer from Virgin Voyages, which I see someone asked me about. And they offered me a free balcony. So that was out of Florida. And that flight was like $87 round trip. So I'm like, I'll eat my port fees, taxes, and upgrade fee and still come out ahead. So I jumped ship proverbially, and I guess literally, and did Virgin instead. And it was a solo cruise. So that was my first solo cruise. I hadn't taken one in a while, but Bati was in academy. And I was like, I'm busy. I've been going crazy, like working my tail off. I need like a quiet, chill cruise. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I hadn't cruised Virgin in like a year and a half. It's actually where I got my one and only tattoo. I'm not a tattoo person, but I got this on Scarlet Lady on my first Virgin cruise. And it reminded me of all the wonderful things about Virgin. So I have been posting quite a bit about Virgin because I've kind of like fell in love. I think I didn't appreciate it as much the first time because it is such a different cruise experience. And I think I walked away from it. I was like, it's pretty good, but like I miss Carnival. But then the more I started like reflecting on it, I'm like, man, there's actually a lot like I love about Virgin. So this time I really kind of like leaned into the fun things about Virgin that make Virgin Virgin. And I don't know, I have a new appreciation for it. I really like Virgin. It's one of my faves. So hello from Lake Charles. Hi, Karen. Is that in Illinois? I feel like there's a bunch of Lake Charles. Hi, Donna. Let's see. Robert is going to be cruising out of Miami out of September. Oh, I have a great Miami port guide. By the way, my port guides for domestic ports. So Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, New Orleans, Galveston, all of them. I've been to almost all of them. I don't have Seattle because I'd only been once and I didn't feel off on a cruise. I've been to Seattle before, but I need to write a port guide about Seattle. But my domestic port guides have all my hotel recommendations, and those take the most amount of time. I literally pick up the phone and call every single hotel I put as a recommendation, and I only include either hotels I personally stayed at or that I scour review boards in depth. And then if I find a hotel that seems to be like cream of the crop among the cruising population specifically, I will actually pick up the phone, call that hotel, and get up-to-date information about things like shuttle to port because it's never right online. So please check that out because I have a series of hotels in Miami that are your value options. And then I also have if you want to splurge and you want to do a Miami beach experience, which is expensive, but those are kind of, I think, my recommendation for like the best experience, not the cheapest, but I give you both. So make sure you check those out. Carol, Virgin shows, I wouldn't say they're risque. They have like a drag show, but it's more like the drag, like it's more like kind of like a cruise director. And it's more like, they do like it's like a comedian. And they do like a lot of like acrobatic types of acts. So, and some of their entertainment is just weird. They have this weird thing in the club where like, I don't even know how to describe it. But I'm very like open to artsy things. Like I love Broadway. I've had season tickets to our local Broadway in Cincinnati. Like I love theater. It was just weird. It wasn't risque. It was just weird. And I walked out and I'm like, what the F was that? Never again. So I'm not the biggest fan of Virgin's entertainment, but I do like that the venues are like more intimate. So you can actually like be up and see the acrobats and stuff. And it's like kind of like circus acts, you know, like the strong men, like 3 men and like really strong. And you're like, oh my God, they're so strong. They're so acrobatic. It's just a different type of entertainment, but you're not going to see those like big Broadway style production shows like you are. It's not like the kind of cheesy song and dance. but I wouldn't say it's necessarily risque other than maybe like the drag aspect of kind of the comedy show. But yeah, it's funny. I think people think like on Virgin, there's gonna be people like humping in the hallways. Like, I mean, for their Scarlet Night and their PJ party, sometimes people wear like more like nighty, but you're also not like seeing cheeks or anything either. So I don't know. I don't think there's anything really risque about Virgin. It is more progressive. So if the thought of a drag queen freaks you out, then you probably won't like Virgin. I personally love that. I think it's super fun. But it's just, you know, whatever floats your boat. Hey, Bati's on here. I hope you didn't hear what I said earlier. And if you missed it, that's your fault, babe, because you should have logged in on time. Oh, Jared, you're using Angel and Amber Cove. Oh, he is so cute. I love Angel. You guys, it is such a bargain. I tell Angel all the time, like, dude, you got to raise your prices. Because if you wonder what I'm talking about, so in Puerto Plata, which is a very popular cruise port destination, there's two ports. There's Amber Cove and there's Taino Bay. So if you're cruising on a Carnival cruise, you go to Amber Cove. Everybody else is Taino Bay. If you're cruising to Taino, great, because you can actually just get off the ship, walk out the terminal, and you're right there in the town area where there's like the Umbrella Alley, the Pink Alley, the little church promenade area, the Amber Museum, all the like quintessential Puerto Plata stuff. And there's even a beach, although it's not a great beach, called Casita Rica. That's walkable too. But if you are porting in Amber Cove, you're SOL, because while they have a pool at the port, I don't like to just chill at a pool on a port day, usually like that. I like to get around. And taxis in Puerto Plata are dumb. They're so expensive. But you can actually book a private driver. And one thing I need to make sure I tell people too, like private drivers, the cool thing is it's not just a driver, they're private tour guides. So you walk out of the terminal, walk up a hill when you book him in advance. And you go up and you find him and he just takes you wherever you want to go and gives you like the insight. He's born and raised in Puerto Plata. He'll take you to Damahagua Falls, to Monkeyland, like Umbrella Alley, wherever you want to go. And it's cheaper than a taxi. So some private drivers are expensive. I love my guy, Clement, in the Bahamas, but he's pricey. He's worth it, but he's pricey. But Puerto Plata, like, no brainer, book a private driver. But I do have private drivers I recommend at 8 different port locations. So if you want info, go to profmelissa.com/drivers and you'll find all that information there. But Jared, I hope you have a great time with Angel. Just let me know. Terry says, Emily, he tags someone, and I booked Virgin Voyages for 2026 because the shows are risque. See, I like that FTK mentality. I'm not going to tell you what that stands for, but it involves thoughts on being adults only. And we don't want kids on these cruises sometimes. I love my kids usually, but sometimes I want to cruise without them or without anybody's kids. And with Virgin, it's just so refreshing because it is grown folks. And again, there's like a slightly risque element of it, but also you don't have to go to any of the parties either. But it's not like they're orgies or anything. I mean, it's still like a mainstream cruise, right? And it's funny too, my upside down pineapple video just went viral again. And people always think like, oh, that's Virgin. And I'm like, I have never seen an upside down pineapple on Virgin. I have seen it now a lot on Carnival. And I don't think I've ever seen it on other cruise lines. But also, I don't like roam the hallways looking for it. But it's funny, I had lunch with my sister today, both of my sisters. And my younger sister and I, we've actually cruised together. Our first cruise we did together at her prompting. So thank you, Betsy. And she actually texted me. She's like, I'm on Melissa's live. So thank you, Betsy, if you're still on here. But yeah, we took our first cruise. I think it was 2018, 2019, not that long ago. So I haven't been cruising that long, but I'm making up for lost time. And yeah, so we were talking about reminiscing and like, we didn't even know what that was. We didn't know what upside down pineapple was. And at one point I was looking through old pictures. I wore a pineapple bikini, right? It was like a yellow top and the bottom was pineapples and some of them were upside down. And I'm like, oh crap. Nobody approached me. I probably had some funny looks, but I don't know. I'm always like in my own little bubble, not paying attention. Exactly. So, yeah, lesson learned. Don't accidentally wear a pineapple bikini on a cruise unless you want unwanted attention. But I understand they're pretty respectful. But I do want to do badly, you guys. I want to do an interview with someone who's in the lifestyle. And so if you're watching this and you're a lifestyler, and you're willing to let me interview you, it can be anonymous. I have questions. I will be very respectful because also I do not care. I always say you do you or you do who. Don't care what you do, how you do, if you're not hurting people, you're not breaking the law, whatever, I don't care. But I have questions like, do people just knock? You know, what do you do if you open the door and that person's just like not your type? Like, I have questions. I want to know for science. And I know a lot of people do too. So if you are a lifestyler, email me. Don't DM me. I get so many DMs, but email me at hello@profmelissa.com because I would like to know some things respectfully and anonymously. Betsy. Oh, Betsy with a Z. That's interesting. I've never seen Betsy spelled that way. My sister's Betsy with an S. I'm looking to book March with my oldest. Let's see, looking for what might be a good place to go. Well, first thing I would say is to pick the right cruise line. So if you're cruising with kids, there's certain cruise lines I would avoid. I love Holland America line. Just sailed them to Europe. That's not a line for kids. And from what I've heard, Princess also skews much older. So I would look at probably Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or MSC are always solid choices for kids. But then if you look at itinerary, it just depends on what you want to do. If it's Caribbean, you want beach time, there's certain ports that are better for beach days. Like Grand Turk is great because you don't have to do anything. Private islands are great, like Celebration Key, which is coming open in July, that I'm going to be going to. I'm super excited. Ocean Key MSC's Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Oh my God, and that one drives me crazy because CAY is actually pronounced key. And I love it when I get mansplained. I do videos about the keys and people are like, it's K. No, actually, Chad, it's key. But Royal Caribbean messes it up by putting it Perfect Day. You can't be like Perfect Day at Coco Key. So it's like Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So sometimes it screws it up. So I'm glad Carnival actually named theirs KEY. So Celebration Key. I'm like, oh, yeah, thank you. Just make it easy for Americans because we always, a lot of like people call it Key, or K, incorrectly. But private islands, the Keys, Ocean Key, Coco Cay, Princess Key, Half Moon Key, all of those are great destinations because you don't have to pay anything. I just booked a family cruise. 15 of us at the end of July. We're going to be on Carnival Sunrise. And it's really confusing because I have back-to-back almost. I have Sunrise and then I have Sunshine, both Carnival. I'm doing Sunshine with Kelly to Bermuda. And so I was getting confused. But we're doing Sunrise. And I picked an itinerary because we have some kids of all ages. And I didn't want everyone to have to like spend money because like when you've got a lot of kids, that adds up. Even an excursion that's $80, you know, my sister, she's got 4 kids. So 6 of them, I mean, an $80 excursion is really expensive. So I especially chose an itinerary that has 2 private islands because it's free beach day. We don't have to pay anything. We don't have to take a taxi. We don't have to spend anything. Easy. And they serve lunch too. So it's not like you have to worry about even like feeding the kids either. So, hey, Lynn from Dayton. Oh yeah, John commented sneezy. So yeah, if you want information on travel insurance, comment sneezy. I'll send it to you because it's really confusing. There's 2 things in travel world that are super confusing and I don't know why they're both confusing. One is travel insurance. So I went a really long time without travel insurance like an idiot. I'm like, I'm young, I'm healthy, I am an adventurer, nothing's gonna hurt me, I've never broken a bone, you know? And I went swimming with sharks in Hawaii without a cage. I did some very sketchy zip lining and rappelling in Costa Rica. And I look back now at those pictures, I'm like, God, you were an idiot. Such an idiot. Thankfully, nothing ever happened. But then finally, I'm in this Girls Love Travel group. Ladies, highly recommend it. It's just for girls who love travel. GLT, Girls Love Travel. And people would always ask, like, travel insurance. And everyone, like 90% of the recommendations are always Allianz. So I'm like, I got to look into this. So I got an annual plan. And I'm very upfront about it. It's $485 a year, covers me and my 2 children. Oh, you know what? My daughter just moved out. She's not covered anymore. Crap. Note to self. Get her covered because she's not covered anymore. Because it covers everybody in your household, even adult children, or like if you have a mother-in-law that lives with you, but they have to be in the same household. So yeah, I got to figure that out. But anyway, I digress. That's an annual plan and it covers everything. Road trips, like if we decide to get in the car and drive down to Gatlinburg, covered. Cruises, everything. And it's a bargain. So if you even take like 2 trips or more a year, absolutely go with an annual plan. Or there's single trip coverage. So if you don't travel as much, cruise or otherwise, it's just basically 1 trip a year. Or if you take really, really expensive trips, I ball on a budget. I do free casino cruises. Again, comment jackpot. I'll send you the information. Single trip, definitely the better option. And by the way, Bati is the insurance guy. So if you request a single travel insurance quote and comment sneezy, I'll send you all this information, including my guide that breaks it down, easy peasy, difference between annual and single trip. But if you submit a single trip insurance quote, he's your guy. He's actually going to do the quote for you and he'll hook it up if you want to buy it. I always recommend annual, again, unless really expensive trip, a really long trip. If you're doing a world voyage, you want a single trip coverage for sure. Or if you only really just take 1 trip a year. Single is better. But anyway, that. And then being a travel agent, it's so freaking confusing. So if you comment mystery, I'll send you information, because I had a friend that kind of nagged me into it. He's like, you travel all the time. It's really short-sighted to not be a travel agent. I'm like, I have no interest in booking other people. I don't have time for that. And he's like, you can do it just to book yourself. And I'm like, well, tell me more information. So then I like started looking online. It looked super scammy. It looked like MLM. People are like weird and opaque about like not giving you all the information. So I'm like, being an academic, I'm going to like learn all I can. And I love to teach, break it down in a way that's super easy to understand and very honest. I will be the first to tell you, not everybody needs to be a travel agent. There's a lot of people that sign up to be a travel agent that has no business being a travel agent. It's work. It is not a road to riches. Comment mystery and I'll send you information on it. It's not, I hate my job and I'm desperate to get out. Oh, I'm going to be a travel agent and quit tomorrow. Don't do that. Unless you're independently wealthy or you have a spouse that can support you. There's a ramp up period. So even if you're really good at it and you're good at marketing and you know a lot of people, like friends and family that want to book with you, it takes time because you don't get paid commission until after that trip completes. So you're not going to be bringing in money right away. It takes time, but with effort and time and this very minimal cost, that's the one thing that's great. Minimal cost, minimal risk. Absolutely go for it. But I break it all down on my guide, comment Vistory, and I will send that to you. So Donna, you went on Valencia. So I went to Valencia, Spain. Unexpectedly, we were supposed to go to Nice in France, and I had my first ever diversion. I've never in all my 36 cruises had a port of call canceled or diverted. And we, instead of France, went to Valencia, which is in Spain. And I was a little bummed because I've been to France, but I've been to Paris, and I really wanted to see the other side of France, like the more provincial countryside. And also, for whatever reason, Bati, if you're on here, Bati is like a France hater. He's heard all the stereotypes about Paris. He hates it. I'm like, babe, you've never been. Like, I don't like that travel mindset of like hating a place or hating a cruise line, you know, just because you've never experienced it. Although I guess I'm guilty of that too, because I talk smack about Margaritaville at sea and I've never done it. So I guess I'm guilty too. But I wanted him to experience it and hopefully have a great time and be like, okay, my mind has changed. Because yeah, Paris can be some of the bad that people stereotype about. I liked Paris. I didn't love it. I was like, oh my God, it's magical. I saw the Eiffel Tower and I'm like, it's brown. I was not wowed by it, but still it's cool. It's a freaking Eiffel Tower, right? So I was a little bummed by the diversion, but Valencia was really, really cool. And that was the last port and we were tired. Those European itineraries will wear your ass out because you're like, it's very port heavy and they're back to back to back to back. So we like already, you know, long flight, major jet lag, major time difference, one sea day, and then like 7 consecutive port days. So it was toward the tail end of it. So it was lovely. I absolutely love Valencia. Like I said, I have a port guide for all my European stops that I'll be writing here soon. So stay tuned. Let me scroll really quick. Carol, you're going with Allianz. Okay, good. I'm glad Kelly got you the information. That's great. Oh, Mark, you got a new job that gives you 3 days off a week. More cruising. Yes, those long weekends that you can strategically get your 3 days off. That's what I do with teaching. In the fall, I teach Tuesday, Thursday. So I look for days like Veterans Day, which is a Tuesday. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to squeeze in a cruise. Because I can leave after class on Thursday and I don't have to be back till Wednesday. Sometimes it's hard to find itineraries because a lot of cruises do like that Sunday to Saturday or Saturday to Monday kind of thing. So not always possible, but I try whenever I can. Okay, yes, I am going on my Alaskan cruise. We head out on Tuesday. Kim, great question. You asked, what is the best cruise line for adult handicapped accessibility? I will admit, I live in a privileged ableness bubble. And actually, it really pointed that out to me. I just made a video yesterday, I think, about tender ports. And a bunch of people commented, and it opened my mind. I'm like, oh my God, it never occurred to me. They are not very handicap accessible at all. So I'm kind of like, dang, what do folks that, you know, like there's a lot of cruisers and scooters. Like, how do you even, I mean, I think I've seen cruisers and scooters on tender boats before, but it's just inefficient, I guess. I don't know. I want to dig more into that. But like I mentioned, I'm doing a 15-person family cruise at the end of July. And my older sister has significant like back issues, and she's had surgery and replacements and stuff. So she's technically handicapped. She has a handicap placard and everything. And so this will be my first time, second time. My mom was kind of semi in a wheelchair So I am going to actually make a real concerted effort during this cruise to kind of keep a mindful eye of that experience for folks that, you know, have to use a scooter or that have mobility issues, and be more mindful of that and kind of ingrain that in my content. I do try to, when I do port guides, mention ports that are not very accessible. For example, I really like Grenada, but man, the streets are terrible for people like cruisers and scooters. Really rocky. You know, we take for granted in America, you know, our streets are pretty good and well maintained. And I was out with my oldest daughter visiting there, and there was a cruiser and a scooter. It was a motorized scooter, and he was having the hardest time getting around. And I'm like, do I need to like help lift you up? He was with like his wife, and he was just having the hardest time getting around. So I do try to mention if a place is particularly not friendly from an infrastructure standpoint, but I am going to do a better job at that. So stay tuned. And I welcome anybody who does have mobility issues, any insights you have to share. Drop me an email at hello@profmelissa.com so I can kind of keep that in mind to look at that. Because again, those of us that we have that privilege, you know, again, we live in our bubble, right? So I'm going to burst my bubble a little bit here. Missed. I'm going to Celebration Key on my family cruise. So that's one of the places we're doing. We're doing the July 31st sailing on Sunshine. And I know Celebration Key opens soon, actually less than a month. So we won't be the first people there, but we will be among some of the first. Jason, if I had to pick one cruise line the rest of my life, what would it be? You must be new here. I say that with love. I'm going to have the commenters comment that answer. What do you think I'm going to say? And I talk ship about every cruise line. I share the good, the bad, and the ugly. But what would you say the answer to that is? So if I could take only have one cruise line the rest of my life, what would it be? You know the answer to that, but I'll share it with you in a moment. Kathy, I haven't done Mobile yet. I've done NOLA, New Orleans. I have a port guide on it. Carrie, yes, they'll give you multiple fuzzy blue blankets. I always ask for like 3 because my daughter, she's always cold and she like puts 2 when I take one. So, yeah, they'll give you several. Let's see. Another Lake Charles. Oh my gosh. Oh, so Bati. Oh, you met Bati. Okay. That's so fun. Oh, he loves it when you guys recognize him. It's so cute. He's the cutest. He's the most sweet, gentle, handsome, amazing man. Oh gosh, sorry. I got a ton of comments. I'm trying to catch. Oh, and Kelly's in here trying to comment too. So again, if you want information on travel insurance, comment Sneezy. My other booking partner, Kelly, is on here too. I know they're both named Kelly. And I just bought a house, and I kid you not, my realtor, long-term friend, Kelly. But they're all spelled different. 3 Kellys spelled different. So anyway, Mark, the drawings, I'm trying to be consistent. I always am going to do a freebie Friday, and I'm always going to do a live on Sunday. And by the way, my live next Sunday, next one, is not going to be here in my little filming room at home. It's going to be on Carnival Spirit from Alaska, assuming the Wi-Fi is okay, because sometimes we do have issues with the Wi-Fi. I tried to do some lives from my Holland cruise in Europe. Didn't go so well. So we're going to try, but every Friday look for that. And by the way, I teased too that this next one is going to be a pack. It's like a $40, $50, $60 value of rum cakes from the Bahama Rum Cake Factory. The owner and I have gotten to know him really well. Simon, he's a funny dude. Love him. And he's going to do that and send that out to the winner. So, so good. I actually hate rum. I'm not an alcohol drinker, mostly because I actually hate the taste of it. It's not like some moral thing. And I hate rum, but so like the traditional, like mainstream rum cakes are too rummy, but these are not. And someone asked, do you lock it to your chair on the beach? Yeah, but you got to be careful. So this is what I'm drawing for in a minute. You got to be careful that you lock it in, like not around the leg where someone could just like lift it up and just like take it. But you got to find like a place strategically that is around things that are like embedded in the ground. Usually if there's like an umbrella staked in the sand, I'll usually put it there. But again, you're not breaking Fort Knox here. Someone could literally cut this with some heavy duty. Well, it's pretty thick, but you know, I mean, I wouldn't put like a $20,000 diamond ring in here, but it's a deterrent and it makes me feel much more secure than just like leaving my stuff loose. So if a thief comes by, they're gonna get the low hanging fruit and grab it and go. Oh, I'm glad you learned a lot, Donna. I love that when people tell me that they actually like learn something from my content. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I have not done New Zealand. No, I need to get down there. I need to do New Zealand and Australia, but God, that flight. I'm trying to save up enough credit card points because I have a personal rule. I think I'm old. I just can't do it. I did Dubai on a study abroad with my university job. And that flight about took me out because it was university and I was in coach. And by the end of it, I was like, never again. So now my rule is I can do about 10 hours in coach. But if it's a longer flight, like New Zealand, Australia, Japan, I gotta have first class. And I'm not paying because, I ball on a budget. So I'm saving up my Venture One Capital X points. By the way, I have information at profitmelissa.com/links. If you want to get it, I do get a little referral points. Help me get my points. I don't get any money, but I get some points. And I'm desperately trying to save up enough points to go first class, or at least, a higher class comfort or something on these long flights. So as soon as I can get enough points, I'm going to try to do some like further away destinations. But that's why you see me in Europe a lot. I'm like 8 hours. I got that. It still sucks, but I can do that in coach. But those long ones, can't do it anymore. I'm getting too old for that. I will say though, fun fact, I'm going to do a video on it when we leave on Tuesday. Me and Kelly are not going to be balling on a budget. We're just going to be balling, right? So I usually fly Frontier, like cheap of the cheap, saving, and we're actually doing first class because the ticket price, it's Alaska Airlines, and I've actually heard their first class is like superb. And the ticket price was actually not that much more. And that's a 3.5 hour flight. So I'm like, you know what? I've been like slumming it on Frontier and saving my coins. Let's just do the nice one. So I'm going to be doing a from Frontier to first class experience. So stay tuned for that. Jocelyn, who has what for nurses? Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. Margaritaville of the Seas has a really great heroes program. So professors, teachers, nurses, first responders, police officers actually get a free cruise. You pay port fees and taxes, but I already get free cruises for casinos. So comment jackpot if you want that information. And some cruise lines actually have onboard credit. So Holland America line, teachers, we get $100 onboard credit. I think maybe nurses, Kelly, my booking partner might know. I don't ever qualify for that because I have the casino, when I do free casino offers, they're always like, go kick rocks. We're not going to give you free onboard credit because you're a teacher on top of a free cruise. Bye. So I don't ever get any of those fun perks, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. I get a free cruise. So Naomi, best cruise for Europe. I've only ever sailed Holland, and that's what I love about Holland. They are old. And by the way, my video this week on Tuesday is my full honest review of Holland America line because I think it is one of the best cruise lines that people kind of sleep on, mostly because they're like, it's old people, it's a retirement home. And yeah, it is. It's old people. People stared at me and Bati. They're like, are you guys performers? And like breaking their necks looking at us because we were like the youngest people. He's a little younger than me. But even me, I was like the baby. And we got stared at a lot because of that. So, but Holland gets to these really more niche ports. We went to Tunisia. How freaking cool is that? Loved it. So for Europe, I recommend Holland. Sherry, I have not done Bermuda yet, but Kelly and I are doing Bermuda on Carnival Sunrise in September. We're doing a little overnight call there, so stay tuned for that. Oh, Paul, I'm sad you booked Carnival and canceled it. I think you would have had a good time. And if you're loyal to Royal, I think Carnival and Royal are more similar than they are different. The big difference is the ship, right? Like you can't go on Carnival Elation and be like, Carnival sucks. Like the night and day difference between those old small ships, right? Paradise, Elation, the Sunrise, Sunshine, whatever. And the Mardi Gras, Jubilee, Celebration. Massive difference, night and day difference. Just like MSC. I was the biggest hater of MSC. I just posted a video about it because my first MSC cruise was Magnifica. Terrible. You couldn't, MSC could call me right now and be like, girl, let's collab. I'm going to offer you $5,000 to sail Magnifica plus a free cruise. I'll be like, nope. Now if they'd give me like 20,000, yeah, I probably would. But I'd never lie about it. I'd tell you it's still a crappy experience. But their new ships, Seascape, Seashore, they're all sea. Why do these cruise lines name their ships the same thing? It's so freaking confusing. But all their sea ships are big ones. World America. I'm going to be sailing World America July 5th. Very excited about that. Absolutely the most gorgeous ships ever. In fact, if I were to rank ships by beauty, MSC, top. top tier by far. MSC's just got to step up their food game because the food's a lot better on their newer ships. Still needs a little work. So yeah, that's my big beef with MSC, but man, you can't beat their ships and their private island, Ocean Key. Oh, it's one of my faves. I love it. And I love that they do overnight calls there. So you're not rushed. And they do a really fun beach party. So they have like this lighthouse that's kind of iconic. And I have an Ocean Key guide. Actually, Stacy asked for Miami port guide. They're all at profmelissa.com. I organize them by region. So check those out. And again, if you look for a port guide and you don't find it on my website, I don't have one because I haven't been there. So yeah, with my port guides, I put in there information about the hotels. And I researched them exhaustively. So, and by the way, if you ever read my, that includes port guides. So Renee's asking about shuttle. It's really hard to find a hotel that provides free shuttle. And I feel like this is the biggest scam. And I try to educate cruisers because it drives me crazy. I see it in forums every day. People are like, what's the best Fort Lauderdale hotel that has a free shuttle to the cruise port or has a shuttle to the cruise port? And 90% of the time, the hotels, they offer a shuttle, but it's outrageously expensive. And people book a hotel just for that, and then they pay more money. I'm like, just take a freaking Uber. Book a cheaper hotel or book a hotel on points, which is what I usually do, and then just Uber there, especially Fort Lauderdale to Port Everglades. They're so close. And same thing with Miami and Port Miami, like downtown and Miami Airport. It's kind of a scam. There are very few. There are some, and I have them in port guides. So if I unearth the unicorn of the rare port hotel that has an actual free shuttle, I mention it. So check my website for those port guides. And also too, with the shuttles, they're kind of a pain in the butt. You have to when you check in, you have to reserve it. It comes like every hour on the hour. You have to like load on with everybody else. I'm like, just Uber and get a cheaper hotel. Hi, Sean. Hi, Greg. Oh, Angie from Kentucky. I hope you have fun on your first cruise. Sorry, I'm trying to get to all the comments. So many comments. I have a hard time seeing here. My sisters, actually, I think both of my sisters are on here. Hi, Jennifer Coster. That's my sister. She's the one that has the back issues. So, she's always nagging me. She's like, you gotta do, video content on cruising with disabilities. I'm like, okay, I gotta have you on there. It's her first cruise. She's never taken a cruise. So my big family cruise with 15 of us in July, she's going to be on it and she's going to give me all of the insight, and we'll see how well Carnival does or not when it comes to accommodating cruisers that need accommodations. Carol, can private drivers fit electric scooters? It depends on the driver. I think every single one that I recommend has a big vehicle, not necessarily with lifts, but they have big enough of a vehicle to accommodate. I'm trying to think. Yeah. And if nothing else, just ask them. Tasha in Curacao could not accommodate a scooter. But that's always a good thing to ask before you book. So, oh, Karen, you just found me a week ago. Do I have a favorite Carnival ship? My favorite Carnival ship is Mardi Gras. Second favorite, Celebration, then Jubilee. And Jubilee is just third because I don't love cruising out of Galveston. I'm sorry, Texas people. It's just not my favorite. Oh my God, so many comments. I was trying to get to the answer of oh my gosh, I can't even get to them all. My favorite cruise line to see if anybody answered it. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. But Carnival, if I had one cruise line to sail the rest of my life, it would be Carnival. And I mentioned I have an honest review video of Holland coming out Tuesday. I put out new episodes every Tuesday. And then on every Saturday, usually, if I'm on a cruise, sometimes I skip it. I'll do like a cruise news, like a fun little recap of what I think are the most entertaining stories of the week. So this week it's going to be on the Holland America line, the good and the bad and everything in between. And then, I have one on Carnival coming up too, because I will tell you if there's a cruise line where a fight or a brawl is going to happen, it's Carnival. If there's a cruise line where people are going to be drunk and rowdy, it's going to be Carnival. If you hate that, then don't cruise Carnival. But there's so many wonderful things about Carnival that make it my favorite. So stay tuned for that video. And yeah. Oh, Kelly reminded me our flight is longer than I thought. It's 1 minute shy of 5 hours. I'm glad we're doing first class. Okay, well, I'm going to do my drawing. The drawing is for this waterproof beach bag that's lockable. If you just want to buy it, it's actually been on sale. I don't know if it's still on sale, but you can find it here in the link. And I had about 1,167 entries. So I have my random number generator, and I have emails, so I'm not going to read you the full email. out of privacy for the person. So I'm going to generate the number and then I'll tell you who the winner is. So I'm going to hit generate. I'll try to. Did it generate 687? Let's see who the winner is. Okay, our winner is, I'm not going to give you the full email, Darlin Anna. So Darlin Anna, I'm assuming your name is Anna. You are the winner of the bag. I will email you, get your information. I will ship this to you via Amazon Prime, get this to you. And then remember, Friday, I'm going to do my next giveaway. I'm going to do Bahamas Rum Cake Factory rum cakes. I can't wait to do that. And then you guys, oh my God, I was moving my daughter. I just posted how I got her first house and moved her out. And that's why I'm exhausted because I've been moving. And I unearthed this little gem that actually someone sent me from TikTok Shop. And I feel really bad because I was like, I never got it. I did get it. It was sitting unopened in a package addressed to me in her closet. Like, girl, what is up? It is a mini karaoke machine. I think, Kelly, just warning you, I think I'm going to bring this to Alaska. I got to play with it because, like, I literally just am opening it right now. I got to play with it. But, like, you know, lately on cruises, I've been doing, like, interviews with, like, cruise ship employees. It's so cute. What a treasure. No, this has been sitting in there for like 8 months. I completely had forgotten. It's got little microphones. But I might do, because I am really curious. Like, I love Carnival, and I love Carnival vibes. I love, like, the R&B and, like, the rap music and stuff. And I think it might be kind of fun, because I'm curious if Alaska's different. Like, are they still going to do the wobble? I don't care if I'm wearing, like, a hat and a coat. I'll wobble on the Lido deck. I don't care. And so I want to know if Carnival vibes are different on an Alaskan cruise versus, like, Caribbean. So I want to, like, do one of those, like, where you go up to people and you're like, finish the lyric. Oh my God, it's so cute.
Bluetooth mode.
But anyway, if this is really fun and it really works, you might see some content with me doing some, like, finish the lyrics. And I might do a giveaway with this thing. It's really fun. By the way, I do love to sing. I'll spare you. I think I'm a great singer, but usually it's confined to my car. One day I want to get up the balls to do karaoke on a Carnival cruise. Maybe my 15-person family cruise I will. And I'm not a big drinker for a variety of reasons. Again, mostly because I just hate the way it tastes. I gotta charge these, unfortunately. But I might have to have a little liquid courage to do karaoke. And the vibes have to feel right, but we'll see. So if you're cruising Carnival Sunshine with me, July 31st, the sailing, stay tuned. You might get some musical stylings of Professor Melissa. If this has auto-tune, that would be great. But anyway, congratulations to our winner. Stay tuned because I am going to do the Bahamas rum cakes this Friday. And then, you guys, I think I might do, it's expensive, but I recently told you I upgraded to grown-up luggage. I always it's like cheap luggage, but as much as I travel, honestly, I was getting, like, beating the hell out of it, and I was replacing it a lot. Even the, like, good value stuff is still value stuff. So I bit the bullet and I got Samsonite. Oh my God, my world has changed. Rolling through the airport, I'm always like with Bati, I'm like, babe, I can push it with like one finger. It's like butter. It's like rolling on butter. Oh, I love my Samsonite. I love my Samsonite. So I might do a giveaway of like a carry-on. So it's a higher dollar item, we'll see. And I definitely want to do another free cruise giveaway. Those are obviously the really wildly popular ones. But no, there's a crap ton of blackouts. Like, it's like a 4-day Bahamas. So, like, people get all excited, like, oh, free cruise. I'm like, well, there's a lot of restrictions. It's still a free cruise. It's legit. But there's a lot of restrictions. But still enter, right? So really quick, to wrapping up, if you want information on travel insurance, comment sneezy. If you want information on being a travel agent, even if it's just to book your own travel, that's what I do. Comment mystery. And if you want information on casino cruises, comment jackpot. Oh, Sam, if you're going to Little French Key, this is brand new. Hopefully you haven't booked it yet. I just worked out with them a discount code. So when you book, there's like a box for like special requests and accommodations. If you comment in there that Professor Melissa referred you, they'll give you 5% off. Brand new. I haven't like released, I put it on my port guide casually, but I just have not had time to make a video about it. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, hopefully you have not booked that yet. And then I also did the same thing with Nasty and Al. I talk about them a lot. It's probably my favorite beach club of all of them. And I've gotten to know the owner because I go there so much, and he never knows I'm making content. Cause again, I don't do sponsored stuff. and people won't know. And I'm like, hopefully I have a good experience. If I don't, I'm going to tell you about it. Like Playa Mia and Cozumel, terrible. Do not recommend unless you have toddlers. That's the only time I recommend Playa Mia. But yeah, so he's like, I'll give you a discount for your people. I'm like, that's great. So Nasty and Al, same thing. When you check out, you book direct, just use code Prof Melissa, and that'll save you 5% on your booking. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Been yapping and talking shit for like an hour. I love it. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to do some lives on our Alaskan cruise. Again, it depends on how good or not Wi-Fi is. Definitely going to try to do a live next Sunday to do the Freebie Friday drawing, but I'll try to pop on randomly, give you guys those amazing live views of that Alaskan landscape. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And I'm excited to do Skagway. I've heard, actually a lot of you have told me, got to do the train ride. So Kelly and I are going to look into that and hopefully catch that train ride, although cutting it down to the wire because we leave in like 48 hours and I have not started packing and I have booked absolutely nothing. But that's okay. I've been to these ports before. And as I mentioned on my port guides, Alaska, the excursions are crazy expensive. But a lot of the ports like Juneau, Ketchikan, Sitka, you don't really need excursions, thankfully. But I do want to spring for that train ride in Skagway because I've heard it's extraordinary. But I'll tell you if it's not because I'm always honest. So thank you all for tuning in and hopefully I'll catch you on a future live. And congratulations to Darlin Anna for being the winner of the ugly but functional lockable beach bag. And again, links up here for all the important stuff. And as always, you can visit my website, profmelissa.com. Happy Father's Day, everybody.